There is a special relationship between the Independent National Electoral Commission and the State Electoral Commissions. We are both creations of the Constitution. Interestingly, the same section of the Constitution that creates Inec also creates the Siecs, the State Independent Electoral Commissions. But whereas we are saddled with the responsibility of national elections and state elections, meaning governorship and state assembly, and the area council elections in the FCT, the only part of the country where Inec conducts local government elections, the Siecs are entirely responsible for the conduct of local government elections. But beyond the statutory source of authority for the two of us, it is intended that we should continue to work together in the sense that political parties are registered nationally. So each time you conduct your local government elections, we make available to you the list of registered political parties. The voters are also registered nationally. So each time you conduct elections, we also make available to you the register of voters. But beyond that, we also shared some facilities with you, from ballot boxes to voting cubicles. And I want to assure you this relationship with the state electoral commissions will continue. At these conferences, we recognize the need for us to continue to regularly interact and exchange ideas, and to continue to set the benchmark for the conduct of free, fair and credible elections in Nigeria. We worked with you in the area of mitigation of electoral violence, and we have also accredited for Siec to observe elections conducted by the Commission. You are coming at a very critical time. In the next 23 days, there will be governorship elections in Bayelsa and Kogi states. And not just the governorship elections. In Bayelsa, we will conclude a supplementary election in 1RA, Famosa, in Brass local government, involving only 6 polling units. Would have concluded the elections long ago, but for litigation that went up to the Supreme Court, and finally the Apex Court ruled that Inec was right to conduct the elections only in 6 polling units. But as you are also aware, the Election Petition Appeal Tribunal had nullified the senatorial election in Kogi West, and we are combining the court-ordered rerun election in Kogi West with the governorship election on November the 16th. The chairman referred to the visit in February 2018, and we discussed the resuscitation and reconstitution of the interactive committee so that we'll continue to interact with the PROF.MAHMOOD in a deeper way. We need to do this expeditiously to enable the committee to begin work in Annex to review, reawaken and strengthen our MOU, and to plan for our joint annual conference, which I propose should take place in the first quarter of 2020. But there are 2 things I think that we need to consider very seriously. Election is about a process defined clearly by law. There were some discussions in the past that there should be a model law modeled on the Electoral Act to govern the conduct of local government elections nationwide. We are caused to study some of the laws establishing some of the Siecs, and apart from the composition of the state electoral commissions, there is next to nothing actually. You don't see processes and procedures for the conduct of elections. I know that in many states they have their regulations and guidelines, but we need model laws that will govern the conduct of local government elections in the country, that draw to a considerable extent from the national electoral legal framework. The second issue that we need to talk together is the independence of the electoral commissions cannot be guaranteed while there is no financial independence. So whatever we can do to work together with you to ensure financial independence for the electoral commissions, that will enormously help the conduct of the election.